Hello, we're going to look today at the project Logframe. The Logframe presents information the project will use to track progress. Here's a basic structure of the Logframe matrix. It's usually a 4x4 matrix where in one side we have all the information of the project structure from the goal, objectives, the result, and activities. And we also have the levels of the indicators, means of verification, and assumptions. What this means is that for this matrix, for every level that we have horizontally, we need to have the same level information vertically. So for every objective, for every goal, results, and activities, we need to have indicators, verifications, and assumptions. Let's see here an example. The matrix shows the intervention logic and the cause and effect relationships. Most important, it shows the project assumptions. During the design, we knew that we were doing this top to bottom design, and during implementation, we're going to do the bottom up process. How this intervention logic works. We have activities designed in the project. In this example, 10 training sessions for 100 teachers. And the assumption is that all teachers attend the course. So activities are dependent on these assumptions. Once that happens, all teachers attend the course, then our results are achieved. 100 teachers have been trained. Now, this result is also dependent on another assumption, that all teachers pass the test. So when all the teachers pass the test, our objective is achieved. 100 teachers obtain a certification. Now this objective is also related to an assumption that all teachers apply the learning in their courses with their students. Once that happens, then we have our goal, a 20% improvement of student performance. You can see now the relationship when we have between activities, results, objectives, and goal, and the conditions and assumptions that the project has made for that to be true. So it's important that the projects always check that these assumptions are still valid, and they will facilitate that the results, objectives, and goals of the project are achieved. Another method to represent graphically the Logframe that we're going to use in this course is the work breakdown structure, or WBS, which shows all the work in a tree-like hierarchical order. So we have the project goal, project objective, the results, and activities. Let's pay attention to this level, and these are the process level. These are the areas where the project has in most control. It means they are short-term results. The project is responsible for the activities, and is also responsible for the results of those activities. They are short-term. The outcome level, those are being long-term results, and they're usually measured by surveys and research. Sometimes they are beyond the responsibility of the project timeline, and sometimes they need to be evaluated to see or not they are actually happening, and they are related to the design of the project. Those are the objectives and the final goal of the project. Up to this level, what we had is a project that is basically doing a level of activities and producing results. Those results are happening, and they are happening in terms of creating changes in behavior in a group or group of beneficiaries that will eventually give us the objectives and the final goal. That is why important that we have process indicators and outcome indicators. Let's look how the WBS shows a tree structure with all the Logframe information in a hierarchical order. And this is a visual tool that helps the project identify everything we need to know about the project. The project defines a goal, defines its different objectives, and for each objective defines what are going to be those results. Under each result, there are going to be activities that the project needs to accomplish during the lifetime of the project. The idea is that as the project makes progress, those activities and results contribute to the achievement of an objective. If something happens and a project is not able to achieve some activities, then they are not going to be able to achieve that objective. What that means is that there's going to be a problem when we're trying to achieve our final goal, even though we were able to accomplish objectives 1 or 2. The design included 3 objectives that needed to be achieved in order for the final goal to be real. And that is a visual tool that will help us understand how we can make those changes in the project based on the information we're getting and where are we having problems. Here's another example where we're going to be able to see how the project manager can use the log frame and the indicators to help understand how they can make those decisions. We have a project goal and 3 objectives, and each objective has a set of indicators. It is a project, and we in the indicators have identified a baseline, the current progress, and the goal. For indicators 1, 2, and 3, we see the project is making good progress, so we can say the project is okay. Project objective 2 has a problem. They haven't reached and the goal is behind the schedule. Project objective 3, the indicator number 5, is already achieved, and indicator 6 is already achieved. The idea is that the project manager and the team can identify easily where they're having problems, so they can focus their attention on that area. We know this area is practically the one that we know we have a problem, so we need to start making some changes. So let's look at some of those changes. The project manager can look at what resources are still available on project objective 3 that maybe can be reallocated to objective number 2 so they can work on that specific problem. That level of decision is very graphical and helps the project focus on what is immediate and what needs attention. Later, we can see that the project has achieved indicator number 4 and all objectives have been accomplished and the goal of the project has also been accomplished. It is a simple process to understand the project, to see visually how those indicators are behaving, and a way to structure how the goal of the project is dependent on achieving the different objectives based on the level of indicators we have defined early in the project. That's it for me, and thank you for your attention.